Build a highly profitable real estate machine with explosive, exponential growth that works harder for you than you work for it, while living a life by design. Breakthroughs are all around you, but you don't see them until now. Join Jason Williford here at the Ultimate Real Estate Machine as he converses with highly respected and world-renowned experts from inside and outside the real estate industry. You'll discover proven business, marketing, and sales strategies that transform you into the most trusted, dominant, and influential expert in your market, the Preeminent Agent. Each episode brings you one step closer to the highly profitable and fulfilling real estate business that you've been longing for. Here's your host, Jason Williford.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Ultimate Real Estate Machine. I have another wonderful guest and friend of mine, Miss Angela Dowd. Angela is out of the New Hampshire market. She's a top producer out of her market. She just had an amazing month. She was the #1 agent out of her location with Keller Williams. She's on the TV show Beyond the Close. She also is going to be co-authoring a book with Kevin Harrington from the original Shark Tank. So she has a lot of amazing things going on right now. And without further ado, welcome Miss Angela Dowd. How are you doing today, ma'am?
I'm great. Thank you, Jason, for having me today.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, shoot, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, your family, kids, how many you have, and anything else that you'd like to tell us about you personally?
Sure. Yep. I'm married. I have 2 beautiful kids, Alana, that's 9, and Connor, that's 7, that are my whole world. So they take up a good portion of my day. So when I'm not working in real estate, I'm with my family.
And speaking of drive and work ethic, you are one of the hardest working people that I have ever seen in my life, that I know of, like to a point where I'm like, Angela, hey, we need to get your life back to, you're at that point of your business of, hey, it's time to get your life back also, because how many hours approximately per week do you currently work?
Definitely over the 100 range. It depends every single week, but I usually work till around 2 a.m. And this morning I was up at 5:30 a.m. So it really depends on the week. I'm a little bit more grind right now because we're in a show, we're in a competition, it's all out. So you can do anything for 90 days. So that's kind of my attitude right now. So I probably would be going off of more than like 3 hours of sleep, 3.5 hours of sleep, but it's go time. So, it's a competition and may the best man or woman win. So yeah, until then, I'll sleep a little more after the competition.
And you are also such an executioner. And what I mean by that is that, it's easy to go out there and learn things, and people can get stuck. People get stuck learning and they think they're going somewhere. But if you're just learning and you're not executing on what you learn, that's how you can just stay stuck. You're wasting time if you're just learning and you're not implementing anything. And that was one thing that, you read The Ultimate Real Estate Machine. You were one of the first ever to read the book, if not maybe the first final edited version before one copy was even printed, because I gave the book to all contestants, was the very first thing that I did. And what you tell us what you did just as soon as you were given that PDF copy.
As soon as I got that PDF copy, I took my ass down to FedEx Kinko's and I got that shit binded, and I got my highlighter out and I just read and go. I'm still rereading it. So I actually have the beautiful hardcover edition now, which is my new real estate Bible that I live by and breathe by. And it's funny, I've done a few posts online and I'm seeing other local realtors, they're reading it now. And I swear I'm already seeing them grow. And I got the head start. So I was the lucky one. But yeah, no, I mean, there's so many golden nuggets in there. It's like there was things I read the first time that I just missed or it didn't compute or, because your book gives ideas and then you kind of go off from there too. So I'm finding I'm getting just as much out of reading it a second time as I did the first time, which is exciting. So I haven't finished reading the second time, but I'm already growing. I'm already getting new ideas every day. So
love it because you can. And I'm not, this isn't, well, I can say that it isn't, but it honestly is. We're digging in and plugging the ultimate real estate machine. That's what this podcast is about going deep into the ultimate real estate machine. So it's not, because you can only write so much in a book. So this podcast is about building the machine that works harder and harder for you versus you working harder and harder for it. And when you read it the second time, you see it in a different lens, different perspective than you've seen it in the first time. And then when you read it again, you see it in a different perspective. And Jay Abraham and I wrote the book with that in mind, that we didn't just want it to be a book that people read one time and put it down, never read it again. We truly wrote the book for the book to be a book that after you read it the first time, you're like, hey, I want to read that again, even if it's a month, 2 months, 3 months later. And for it to be a reference book that when you put it on the shelf, you have a business problem or something that you're looking to improve upon, that you're like, that's in chapter 8. Marketing mistakes that can cost you huge profits. That way you can go back to that, as a reference book as well. What is some takeaways, a couple of golden nuggets that your favorite parts of the book? We'll start out with one of them.
Obviously my favorite part, and this is what I live and breathe by now, is the strategy of preeminence. So every move and decision I make, I think, is this going to get me towards being the preeminent agent or not? And that's kind of how I base my business decisions now. So, everything I do, like for instance, all my strategic alliances, I'd say that's where I've gotten probably the most growth in my business. I kind of focused on them. I worked, I did a video with Oak Craft Pizza. I did one with MD Aesthetics. I did another one with an organizer. Like I worked with all these different businesses and they refer your family, friends. And even when you're shooting the videos, people come up to you and be like, who are you? And then they want a business card and they call you, and before you know it, you're working with them. So I think it's putting yourself out there, and the whole give and you shall receive. I think people don't understand that. And it's so true in life and so true in business. If you want to get anywhere, you got to give, and you get it back tenfold. And I'd say that's the biggest nugget I've gotten out of there. That's really helped my business the most. I mean, there's so many different things, but I'd say that's probably my favorite out of the book.
Love that, because it's become internalized, and it's a mental model of the way that you think about not only your business, but about yourself as well. And there's based upon other people that like Tiffany. I just recorded with Tiffany, and that was one of the things that, stood out to her, is that it's given her more certainty about herself. And more confidence about herself and her business. And the consumer can see that. And, even going back to, I don't think a lot of people really know what the definition of sales is. And the definition of sales is the transference of one person's belief to another. And, that's one thing that I will say about your passion, is that you have a lot of passion, and people just are magnetically attracted to do business with you because the passion just bleeds over. You can't unsee it once you see it.
Yeah, it was funny. Because I've been doing a lot of the stuff that you've been telling me. I've been blasting that on social media, and I'm just noticing more, even when I'm out. Like I was at the gym last week and I got not one, but 2 leads, like people coming up and just being like, I want to do business with you. Hey, I'm going to be selling my home. And not saying I didn't get that before, but would I ever get 2 leads out of one gym visit? Never. I mean, 1 in a month would be exciting. But I think when you start displaying that preeminence in your area, in your market, it just magnifies times 10, and it's insane. I'm like, I can't even go to the gym.
Love it.
Yeah.
Hey, what other than the strategy of preeminence, what was another takeaway that we could go deeper into about your machine? Maybe in another chapter or whatnot. Maybe it was one of the 12 sticking points that can keep a real estate agent's business stuck. Maybe it was something on marketing. Maybe it was one of the 29 or multiple 29 marketing mistakes that real estate agents make. Maybe it was the 4 steps of greatness. Was there something else in the book that really sticks out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I think the referral strategies are the most important, and being able, but prior, I was never able to like ask people for referrals. You know what I mean? I was always too shy. I was afraid to put myself out there, and, you know, different things that I've done. I'm big on being in front of your clients now. Like before, I never even had a database, you know that. Like very simple things that you should be doing, like a database, I didn't do. Adding those things and then utilizing that database going through. So for instance, for Christmas, I did the crumble cookies deliveries. So I delivered cookies to all my clients. I had all their addresses and printed it out. And then,
you know, going back to the referral strategies, and one thing that one of those 217, we've already talked about one of those, obviously, the strategy of preeminence is the foundation of building a predictable referral system that works hard for you, an actual system in place. It's a foundation, you have to have that. Another one being, you just mentioned, of having strategic business alliances. And yes. You have quickly, because you go out and execute, have done a wonderful job with that. How has that changed the way that you do your business? And have you had to dump a bunch of money into marketing to do it?
No, I haven't. I mean, I do have a social media manager. She did some of our videos, you know, promotions, the giveaways. Like the other thing that worked out great was the giveaways. Because what happens is, for people to enter, you got to have, you know, tag 3 people, like me, follow me, all that stuff. So like my social media followers have doubled, and I just randomly get messages from people, hey, I want to work with you as long as you're the agent I get to work with. You know, I just had one last week, would love to work with you. I see you crushing it on social media. So it's nice when that all just comes back to you. So again, it kind of goes back to the give and you shall receive. And the more you put yourself out there, I didn't put myself out there as much before as I should have. And I think the shows kind of forced me to do that. And that's really helped me grow my business.
And what's going to be fun, even more fun for me as we continue to work together, even past the show, is that, because I love working with you, because you go out and you do it. You know what I'm saying? You take action and you do it. And one of those things that's really important to me as being your preeminent, masterful thinking partner is that it's really important to me, as I even told you and promised your husband, hey man, I'm gonna get your wife back, to where you're at that part in your business where it's just really not sustainable to work 100 hours per week, because we know how fast time flies by and the kids get older, more years married, and the divorce rate in real estate for a real estate agent for a male and female are both in the top 5.
Really?
That's not good.
Oh,
yes,
no,
ma'am.
Don't give my husband any ideas, Jason. All right?
No, we're going to be proactive about that and work on that and get your life back, but also scale your business up. So what I was getting at is, one thing that you mentioned is you had one client that said, hey, just as long as I get to work with you, there are things that we are going to be working on in the future that remove you from having to be that one that they have to work with exactly, to where we duplicate Angela through predictable marketing and duplicable selling strategies that still make the right fit for your team, the preeminent agents in your market with your brand.
Absolutely. I love
those
it.
great people working with you. So you can have dinners, get your dinners back, get your sporting events back with them. And I know you still spend a lot of time with your family. I honestly don't know how you do what you do. You're like Superwoman.
Well, thanks. I don't feel like Superwoman.
You are such an inspiration, and it's going to come out on the show of how impactful and inspirational you are at what you do. And as you know, I'm not just saying that to toot your ego, toot anybody. It's just real talk.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
What would you say is being a contestant on Beyond the Close? What's been some breakthroughs that you've had during the 90-day challenge?
Some breakthroughs. There's been so many. I'd say believing in myself is one of the keys because, I'll be honest, I'm not the most confident person. So to, get in front of camera with you and Kevin Harrington, I don't know a few years ago if I would have done that and, pushing the boundaries, me calling past clients, following up and trying to see if there's anything I can do. That's way out of my comfort zone. To me, that would be like going out and begging for business. And it's really not, my clients, they're all amazing. They were so happy to hear from me and the follow up. And it was actually the reverse. Like, I kind of thought I knew it all and thought, oh, I'm above that. I don't need to call past clients. Like, I got this. And then when I really was like, oh my God, how stupid. Like, I just last week closed 2 million in business that I would never have closed on if it wasn't for the show. Following up with past clients that, were previously looking and stopped and, a phone call and, hey, this beautiful lakefront property just came on. I mean, it had its own private beach. It had an in-ground pool right on the water. That still never would have happened. The old me would have just put it aside and, okay, they don't want to look anymore. I'm not going to follow up. I'm not going to call them. So, I think the biggest thing is people have to step outside of your comfort zone. If you want to grow, if you want to take it to the next level, you got to be uncomfortable. And I'm so glad I did it. It was worth it.
That's awesome. And here's the deal. All the 10 contestants, we're only going to have one winner. And whether someone wins or does not win, here's the deal. Every single one of the 10 had breakthroughs that will last the rest of your life. Because if we really look at it and think about it, it's pretty darn crazy, the guts that all of you have to be like, hey, I'm going to be a contestant on a reality TV show and I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to compete. And I'm going to be videoed like we recorded in the Billy Mays studio where the legendary Billy Mays shot his infomercials, which is crazy. There's not just a phone camera in front of you. There's all kind of lights, camera. Then you got Kevin Harrington right in front of you, that's did over $6.4 billion, worth of revenue throughout his lifetime. He's also the inventor, of the infomercial, even dating back to my childhood, which I'm old. I remember the Ginsu knives. That was him.
Yeah.
He scaled that business model across the world. And that's my point, is even the one that is in last place, they may have the biggest long-term growth outside of the 90 days. So they really, in my mind, they did not lose. Nobody's lost. Nobody's going to be the loser because they broke out of their comfort zone like you're talking about.
Absolutely. But I mean, I want to be number one. I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you.
Oh, I know you do. I know you do because you're a champion. Now, I want to dissect that a little bit because I want to dive into one of your hobbies is obviously working out. How often do you work out? How disciplined are you in your workout schedule?
I'd say a little too disciplined. Actually, my trainer, I train with someone 2 days a week. They actually will be like, you need to take a day off. Like I'll work out 7 days. It's probably the only time I take to myself is that actual workout time. So if I don't have that outlet, I go like crazy. So 6-7 days a week, it depends on the week.
Me too.
But I make it happen. So that's why I asked for the call to be at this time, because I got a gym appointment after this. If I don't get my workout, then I'm gonna be a mad woman. I need 1 hour a day to myself.
I'm the same way. What is it for you? Like, what does it do for you personally with working your?
So I do the classes, and I think you know me, I love a challenge. Like when Austin, made his little post about, oh, he's already got this in the bag. I was like, bring it, motherfucker, let's go. And so on, I won't sleep. I won't eat.
Oh,
I will just
no.
outwork you into the ground. It's on. So yeah. So the same thing at the gym. Like I love doing the classes, we'll be on the spin bikes and I'll be like, I will outride every other motherfucker in that class, I'm going to do twice the amount of burpees, and I lift heavier weights, and the guys next to me, they get all embarrassed, but they'll be using the 50-pound weight and I'll go over and grab the 70 just to embarrass them. But that's just me. It's who I am. I love a challenge. I love to be number one. It annoys my husband. Like if I lose a card game, it's like, not great.
That's amazing. I love it. I love your drive, but it also comes from a place of your competition, especially within real estate. And that's even one of the disqualifiers of the show. What will get someone eliminated from the show? And it's basically, they could sell $200 million in real estate in 90 days. But if they are not being preeminent in what they are doing, if they're not doing their best for their clients, if they're compromising clients' best interests just to win the competition, to me and my greatest mentor, Jay Abraham, that is not winning, that's losing.
Oh my God, no, because you're ruining your name. Who wants to ruin their name? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're compromising or doing something that's not in their best interest. I mean, every single client, they're like family to me. I'm treating you as if I'm buying this home for myself, and what would I do? And I'm not going to advise you any differently, So you if you don't have that, you're never going to scale, because people can see right through you. The trust rating of real estate agents. They only trust, what is it, 11% of real estate
11%.
agents. That's insanely low. It's like the lowest of any industry. Like, I think there are
other
so
than
many.
a used car salesperson.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
not knocking, because there's great people that sell cars too, like the preeminent car salesperson.
Yeah.
That just like the real estate agent, and it's horrible. And that's the reason why we wrote the book. That's why I even give away chapter 4 free, the preeminent agent. That's how I feel, Steve Jobs style, that I can make my little ding in the real estate industry, is bringing preeminence back to real estate.
Yeah.
Not to sound like a presidential slogan.
No, it's so true though.
Political, but
it's so true, because then people refer you to their family and their friends because they know and trust you. That's how you really build your business. And long term, if you want the growth, it's all about treating people right. And when you do, I mean, that's the best business. Why spend thousands of dollars on Zillow, Realtor on these leads that aren't even serious? If you just take care of people, and do the right thing, it all comes back tenfold for sure.
So even based upon, and this is fun, I'm having a blast because
I'm glad you're having fun, Jason. I'm a good time. What can I say?
Because going back to, referral mastery, and basically what you said was a thought that I had in the car earlier today was stop buying leads. Like that is like even a piece of a lead agent referral mastery that I had that epiphany today, like stop buying leads, and I mean leads like, okay, let me go out and buy Facebook leads, and let me go out and buy Google pay-per-click leads. Let me go out and buy YouTube leads, whatever, or Zillow, Realtor.com, whatever it may be. And I'm not saying not to do any of that. But if you do not have a predictable referral generating system in place, you really, that would be what I would go back and tell my earlier self in real estate, as we started building a team and started paying for leads and started paying for marketing, is to, hey, you need to have that system in place before you do anything that generates free, almost all the time, free referrals or low cost. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah,
That
no,
you should maybe
I mean,
stop buying leads.
honestly, I'm like at a point where I don't even need to do it. I know that sounds bad, but it's true. And to be honest, I've been actually so funneling them down. So I have a couple other people under me, and they pay me referral fees. So once they're able to convert, they, I get a referral fee out of it. Obviously, I take the gooder ones, like, so, you put thresholds in. So anything over 800,000, I can take, and then delegate the rest down, because honestly, I kind of, from all the book and everything I've learned, I don't really need them anymore. And I could totally give them up if I wanted to. Absolutely. I'm at that point now in my career where I no longer need it. I do think they're good for new agents, people that don't have established business, don't have any referral strategies in place. It's a way to get started in the business. But once you're in it, and if you get the book, you can save. I was doing 10,000 a month easy in marketing and different things.
$120,000 a year. Let's unpack that.
Yeah,
so that's
just a little bit, just a little money.
Only $120,000 a year that you could basically, if you wanted to turn it off right now, you could. And if you still kept digging into
that, just to be upfront. So like, I have partners that pay part of it, but that's not all me.
Yeah, but still, that's bottom line profit, though, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, it would be,
because I'm sure they would also partner with you on client appreciation events and other things within one of the other 217 predictable referral strategies that would that you could magnify other than just internet leads.
Oh yeah, I want a VIP party.
Love it.
Let's go.
Love it, girl. If it's in my calendar, I would come.
Okay, deal.
What would you, one thing I did want to unpack real quick is you getting your life back. Because you're at that, and actually that's one of my goals for someone that, hey, if they're not, and you started, your business was already going well, but now you're at that combustion point where you can only do so much. So what are some of the things that we are gonna start doing to work on you getting your business or your life back also, but still keep scaling up your business?
Yeah. So what I've been doing, as I have someone that can do some of my buyer agency showings, help me with open houses. But the biggest thing is having my assistant now. For instance, she's organizing and doing everything for my premiere watch party. So, just having someone that I can delegate down to and do ministerial tasks has been huge. That time that, I would have been spent previously on those tasks, I can now spend with my family. And although it's still not where I want it to be, the contest is ending soon. So they see the finish line, they know. But right now, I'm definitely not where I want to be with time management with my family. And that's the one thing I kind of gave up for the show. But that's short term, and they understand that.
Good. Well, that's awesome that your family is understanding, and what we have approximately 35 days or so left. So we're kind of getting down to the end of that, so you can get more of your family back, but also keep scaling up your business. And how do you get your freedom back? And it's hard to give away sometimes, but it's delegation is key. One of, if not the greatest form of time management, as what you'll find out with hiring not anyone, but hiring the right people on your team, that they will actually start taking away tasks off of your plate, and they become better at it than you were anyway.
Oh yeah, my social media girl crushes it. It would take me 5 times the amount of time to do what she does. She does these cool stories and reels, and that would take me forever. So yeah, it's funny how once you hire people, you realize, wow, they're better than me. Like I sucked. I go back and I scroll down my social media when I was doing it. I was like, I thought I was doing a good job. I was like, this looks horrible, horrible. Like I didn't even market myself right. So yeah, thinking you don't know it all and being able to delegate and trust people. That was a big thing. I remember when we started, I told you, I'm like kind of a control freak. I'm OCD. Like I like to have my hands in it at all time, and giving that away, it's eye-opening. It's like, wow, I'm an idiot. Why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I listen sooner? So
love it. And I think and that was one of the things that when you and I started working together, is that early on you had that conundrum, and the conundrum was, hey, I'm not sure if I want to stay an independent agent or if I want to start a team. And you had asked different people and, getting different feedback. And yes. I think you had like a breakthrough, and part of your breakthrough is that you're maybe stuck into what the industry teaches of what a team is. That, hey, I have to have a bunch of buyer agents and all this stuff. And it seems like, and that's what you and I have been working on, is that, a team is what is how you want to construct it. Would you like to add to that?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't have a traditional team, and it was the best decision I ever made, because I thought, oh, when you have a team, like I got to be the head person and all the people under me. And I didn't want to give up, but probably my favorite part of the job, and this is why I love doing what I do, is I love working with the clients. Like I genuinely love my job. I couldn't work 100 hours a week if I didn't love what I do. I mean, do I like going to inspections? No, they're boring as but it's part of the business. But in general, I love my clients and I love what I do. So I wasn't willing to give that up. And I decided, because so many people are like, why don't you open your own brokerage? Why don't you do this or that? And it's honestly, that's not where I want to be right now. I'm super happy. I'm making great money. I'm doing what I love. I made so many friends. I can't tell you how many clients of mine have become close friends of mine. And I'm happy where I'm at, and this is what I want to do. I just want to break the barriers and not do a traditional team. And when I followed your advice and did everything you did, it has helped exponentially. Like I wouldn't be able to do this podcast right now with you because I have a new listing coming on tomorrow, but no, it's okay. I got my TC entering into MLS, which I will double check. And I have my new assistant. She's doing the write-up for the listing. So it's just delegating everything out. So, I mean, yeah.
Who do you think the next hire is going to be to get you?
Next hire. Ooh.
Like what kind of position? Do you think it would be another admin assistant, a courier? Do you think it would be a buyer agent, an inside sales agent?
I told my husband I wanted to hire a laundry person.
That's huge. That's huge.
No, I mean, I would love.
But you're right.
No, honestly, the next thing I need is a nanny. It's me and my husband are joking, but I want to be an involved parent. I want to be the one that they have their memories with. So I think the next person would be just one more team member, another, buyer agent, because the showings is really what eats up a lot of your time. People don't realize buyers are a lot of work in this market. I make 3 times the money if I go with a listing versus a buyer, based on the ROI, based on the hours that it takes to get an offer accepted for a buyer. It's just not easy. So I would say my next buy, especially in this next hire, especially in this market, would be another buyer agent.
Love it. So let's unpack that really quick, because you would be an amazing, and you are someone that's amazing for that right person to be up underneath your wing and learn from, with all the experience that you have. So how do you think you could help that person? Because not only are you impacting their business, you're impacting their entire life. And if we really look at that, imagine all the lives of the other people around them that you also impact by changing their life. So how do you think that you can help that right person for you that you would bring on as buyer agents, or in the future, inside sales agents, listing agents, whoever it may be? How do you think you can help them?
So, I mean, the number one thing is knowledge and experience. To become a real estate agent, I mean, it's harder to become a yoga instructor than it is to become a real estate agent. Let's be real. Anyone can be a real estate agent. Go do a 40-hour class and pass the test, and there you go. And people have no idea what the they're doing. I mean, I get some contracts in and I'm like, this person's new. Like, they clearly don't know what they're doing. And you're just messing with someone buying the biggest investment of their life. So I think that's a big thing. And that's what separates me from a lot of other agents in my market is people know and trust me. And that's key. So, that knowledge and experience, you just don't get it. In school, they don't teach you like the real life stuff. It's like, you learn all the main terminologies, but okay, real life, when you go out and be a realtor, that class.
They don't teach you how to make money is what they don't do.
They don't. And marketing, I'd say the biggest thing in real estate is you're not just selling houses, you're selling yourself. There's 1,000 other realtors out there. Why are they going to use you? And, that whole marketing piece and helping them grow. And to be honest, I got more leads than what I can handle at sometimes. And I refer them out. And where else are you going to go and just start off and be handed leads? Like when I started off, no one was handing me any leads. I wish I was, but that's not how it worked for me. But I know how to scale it. I know how to grow it.
I've already interviewed several of the top team leaders in North America, like in all of North America, US and Canada, I should say. And I asked, I believe all of them so far, the question of, hey, why did you decide to start your team? And the funny answer, not funny, but fascinating answer that I got, because I'm a question asker, kind of like a Socrates. I like to, walk the earth asking the questions and seeing what, the common answer is. But the common answer for all of them was, hey, it just got to a point of my business that I just had so much business that I couldn't handle all of it myself. And guess what answer you just said?
That.
Yeah. That same exact answer, which is awesome, because I know that if you wanted to be, and it may not be in what success looks like to you, but I know if you wanted to be one of the top in North America team leaders, you could get there and get there very fast.
Thank you. Yeah. You never know what the future is going to hold. I mean, I'm obviously going to be setting new goals for myself, but right now my goal number one is just focusing on the show and winning. And, I'm not going to start a new chapter until the show is over for sure.
Love it. Hey, what does that person look like? I know you just don't want to hire anyone onto your team that's going to be that buyer agent hire, because you have your core values, obviously, of what works for you, and kind of like me, I'm not a perfect fit for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I would probably drive some people crazy, and
never, Jason.
And I know I have. I'm just being honest and straight, because I'm a peak performance mentor. I'm not a 30%, give me 30% mentor. And if someone's just looking to put 20 or 30% into it, I'm probably not going to be a good mentor for them. I'm probably going to piss them off, honestly. Because I know they have more in them. You know what I'm saying? And peak performance, that's my job, being a preeminent mentor, is to help them get where they want to go as fast as possible with a Ferrari versus having a Volkswagen to get there,
I remember when we first started, I was so overwhelmed. I'm like, how am I going to get all these goals done and everything done? Like, you push the limit to like where I was like, I don't think I can do all this, but you can. It's just having the right tools and, going through the book, reading the book. That's the biggest thing. Everybody thinks it's easy. This isn't easy. What we're doing, last month when I grew 400%, it wasn't easy. I wasn't sleeping. I was exhausted. I made more money in that month than I did than, God, but at some point, people have to realize either you want it or you don't. And if you want it, go get it. And there's so many tools and strategies like that book. I mean, you can become a millionaire.
I honestly hope
if you do the strategies in the book, do you want it?
honestly talks some people out of getting their license.
Really?
And here's why. Because if they aren't going to be preeminent, and if they are going to be another traditional agent that tarnishes the industry and adds to that only 11% of consumers trusting real estate agents, I hope the book talks them out of getting their license.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's too many people out there that aren't serious, that don't care. And I see it all the time in deals. It's just, I feel bad for their buyers or sellers, but yeah, there's a lot of them out there.
One last thing I wanted to hit on, and also congratulate you, because I know you're about to start working on a part of a book that you're going to be writing, that Kevin Harrington is going to be featured in as well, that we mentioned from the Shark Tank. The book is going to be about being the preeminent agent, going above and beyond for home sellers and home buyers, and haven't dug into you probably haven't dug into writing it yet, like what it's going to be about, your part of the book. But have you put any thought into what your chapter is going to be about how you preeminently help clients in your market?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I really want to get into the helping the sellers and their home sale and how do I add value, because there's so many realtors out there, but they don't market the house properly and they don't know how to negotiate. I'll give you a couple examples. Like, I can't tell you how many houses I see online that aren't staged. Every single one of my houses, it gets staged. You're getting staging. Staging can increase your profit from 1% to 5%. That pays the realtor fee.
That one piece.
And one small piece. And that's just one of many things I do. But, it's unfortunate. I think marketing is the key. And that's one thing. How do I put your house in the best light? And how do I add value to you for your house? And it's not just, doing the staging. I do video tours of the house with me in the tours. I do virtual tours of the house where you can virtually go through the house. I do Facebook ads, Instagram ads, different things. So there's more foot traffic to come. And then the biggest thing is negotiation is, how do we position? Because people don't realize the biggest thing the agent can do is how do we get the most for your house? And how do we create that buzz? And how do we get people going? I do delayed showings, make everyone see each other, do Saturday, Sunday, 2-hour limit each day. And oh my God, did you see? There was 500 people at this open house we got 22 offers. We had over 500 people through my last open house. I was exhausted, let me tell you. But we went way above and, the people waived everything. And there's a psychology, and that agent has to create that environment for you to get offers like that and to go back and forth and negotiate to get the best, offer. And is your agent trying to get them to waive appraisal or make up a difference? Like, there's so many things that the agent could do. They have the knowledge and experience to ensure that you get the most for your house.
Not they do, if they do.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's very rare and I think that it's easy for all of us to think just because we know it, that everybody knows it. And that's just not the truth. It's just easy human psychology for us to think that. And you hit the head on the nail, that what you were alluding to is that in this super duper hot market, it is not going to be like this forever. And it's easy for real estate agents to get drunk on a hot market that, hey, it's all about me. I just put it on the MLS and it magically just sold itself. And I think a big differentiator in the preeminent agent by educating the consumer right, because the preeminent agent knows that per the law of supply and demand that we all learned around the 6th or 7th grade, that kids now learn in the 2nd grade probably, that demand is the biggest thing that drives price. And there's a lot of sellers that don't even know how much money that they are losing because, hey, my house sold anyway. My agent, that's a friend of mine, this part-time agent. I can hire anybody because any house sells. But that's what the part that is missing, that they just don't know what they don't know of how much that they never know how much that they could have optimize and maximize their return on their investment if they would have hired someone that had a high skill set.
Oh yeah. Oh, I agree.
And the right
110%.
systems in place.
Yeah, you got it.
Day
And
one,
that's
you
what
got in real estate. Did you have someone doing your staging and videography and all
Yes.
that?
Oh yeah, I have all that. I have a whole team.
Day one though, did you?
Day
day
one, no.
one in
Oh,
real
day
estate.
one, no. I was doing all my own staging, and now I'm to a point where nope. I have a stager. She comes in and does everything. I have all my own supplies just to keep costs down for my sellers. So I bought them over the last 8 years. So there's no. I incur all the costs. A lot of agents will charge the sellers or somehow get a reimbursement, but no, I do everything in-house. I have my stager, but I have all the materials and everything to stage properties. It's a
The
whole
real
big
estate
whole.
machine.
Yeah.
The ultimate
Yeah.
real estate machine.
Yeah. Add value. That's the thing. It's so funny. Like I just had someone reach out and they were going to interview a couple agents, and then, they knew one and they're like, I don't know if we should have you. And it's like, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't interview at least 3 people and know who's providing the most value. Like you're selling your house, your biggest asset, who's going to get you the most? Because it does matter. And I always tell people there's a whole art to this negotiation. And when I say art, like literally staging, and that's a huge part of it. If we don't put your house in the best light with the best photos, the best videos and everything, you're not going to get the most. You're not going to get the best foot traffic in your house. And if you don't have someone that has the knowledge and experience and knows how to negotiate and get you the best terms, then you're not going to get the most. And
it's preemptive marketing. It's marketing, the right marketing, like the heavy lifting should be 80% on the front side. As you're mentioning, having a professionally staged home, the factual proven studies show that a professionally staged home gets more and is sold faster than a home that is not. Professional photos, not taking them with your iPhone or taking them yourself. That was a mistake me and my partner made in our business early on, but we caught it really early. Is that hey, we went out and invested in this camera. It was a lot of money to us at the time, like $800 or so. Then we got the darn thing, started taking pictures with it. We're like, darn it, we now need a wide angled lens, which is $3,000 for the lens. We didn't even buy the lens. We just made the point from that point on that, hey, we're just hiring professional photos. So we rose the standards even right in that point that we no longer do crappy photos. And it's amazing. You've seen them for buyers, even still to this day. I'm sure you pull property for your buyers in the MLS and you're like, man, I can't believe these pictures.
Yeah.
Like you see crazy stuff in the background. I seen one time, I seen underwear, bra hanging from like a bedpost and stuff. That's not stuff that people.
No, absolutely
not. That's embarrassing to that seller to me.
Absolutely. Yeah. Unacceptable.
Yeah, it's unacceptable. Well, hey, I appreciate all your time. And before we wrap up, what does your life and your business look like, in the near future, in the next 2-3 years? What's it look like?
2 to 3 years. It's going all the way up, baby. I'm just going to keep growing. I'm going to keep implementing the strategies. There's 217. I focused on 15 of them. So to me, I'm like starting to climb the mountain. I'm not even at the peak yet. So I'm excited to see, the more I implement the strategies, how far can I grow? And, my goal is to be number one, who doesn't want to be number one?
Hey, I love it, girl. And I appreciate you. I appreciate all that you do. And shoot, this has been a wonderful episode and I can't wait to have it out there and live.
Thank you. And thank you to you. I appreciate you. And you've given everyone 110%. Endless Zoom calls that have I got so many ideas and different strategies that I never would have gotten on my own. So one thing I'll say to any realtor out there that you don't know what to do, you need to get a freaking coach and you need to get the help and the guidance, because if you truly want to grow, you got to take it upon yourself. And it's not just a book, it's the accountability, all the meetings that we do, being held accountable and doing what you're supposed to do. So my friend, thank you. Wouldn't be here without you.
Thank you so much. And read the book, because the book shows you, just like real estate agents, there are many real estate coaches out there, and there's a difference between a coach and a mentor and a mentor and a masterful thinking partner. So there's a lot of different levels to that, but it's in the book. It's in the 4 steps to greatness in step number 4 of the differences between all of them too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Angela. Have a great day.
Thank you, Jason. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's it for this episode of The Ultimate Real Estate Machine. May your real estate machine be extremely rewarding, fulfilling, and life-changing for you and all the people that you impact. Claim those skyrocketing results that you demand from your real estate business. Subscribe to the show for more content like this at ultimaterealestatemachine.thepodcast.com. And don't forget to leave a positive rating. Thank you for joining us. See you on the next episode.